Hey everyone, I'm Jovan D, and I was watching a few videos on optical illusions, and it got me thinking, is it possible for optical illusions to work inside of a game engine, not even in real life? So today we're going to check out 4 of my favorite optical illusions inside of Unreal Engine 4. Let's see how it goes. So the first illusion we're going to check out is called the anamorphic Rubik's Cube illusion. So it's basically a really strange looking stretched warped image until you get a reflective cylinder and place it in a very specific location. And then you can actually see what it's supposed to be. So I have a very similar image of a stretched Rubik's Cube. Let's go ahead and grab a plane and let's make it a little bigger. We can make a material out of this Rubik's Cube texture. Select create material. Let's call it material Rubik. There we go. So we have our plane with the weird stretched warped image here. And I didn't say before, but we don't have ray tracing on. We don't have RTX graphic cards. We have a regular stock Unreal Engine 4 project. And let's see if it works. Let's grab a cylinder and place it right in the middle here. So now we need to create a reflective material. And if you don't know how to do that, it's pretty easy. The base color we're going to want is going to be white. Just hold down 4 and then click. We can plug this right into the base color. But instead of black, we're going to want it to be pure white. Think of it as what reflects light back. If you have a pure white t-shirt, you're going to be reflecting a ton of light back into the environment that you're in. If you have a pure black t-shirt, it's going to be absorbing all of the light. That kind of works with like mirrors and reflective materials as well, so you want the base color to remain white. And to actually make the material reflective, we're going to hold down 1, left click, and this is going to create a constant value, and we'll plug that right into the metallic. So this is going to tell the material graph, hey, this is a very metallic substance. There's one last thing we have to do. We have to hold 1, left click again, get another constant, and plug that into the roughness with a value of 0. So now the metal that is pure white and reflecting everything is super smooth so that it can reflect everything back normally. Now we have this reflective material and we can plug that in. And our cylinder is kind of getting some weird shapes here. So we definitely have a sphere reflection capture here in the level. Let's try to move it a little closer if we can. I'm not entirely sure how much that's gonna help, but now we can rebuild. All right, now the reflections are built. We can hit G so that we get what it looks like in the level. And wow, that is a very reflective cylinder. Not sure what's going on here. It's kind of working. Let's move it back a little bit. It's still really warped. Let's try to change the scale of... Oh, okay, yeah. That looks a lot better. That definitely looks a lot better. So this usually only works from a very specific angle, and it looks like this is that angle. Yeah, we can see this warped image really well. Actually, I see the Rubik's Cube like perfectly. Okay, I think we can say definitively the Rubik's Cube anamorphic Rubik's Cube illusion works inside of the Unreal Engine. So that's pretty cool. It took a little bit of tinkering here and there, but looks like we got it pretty good. I'm sure there's some sort of mathematical calculation that you can do to get it looking perfect. But I'm just going to leave it like that for now, and we can move on to our second illusion. So in this level, we're going to do the big box, little box illusion that I saw on Brightside. So Brightside doesn't give a clear name to this illusion or any explanation as to what's going on, but it looks like there's a cube on the outside of the box. And then basically it at a specific angle, because of the way that the sides are colored, it kind of looks like this little box is taking a chunk or a bite out of the big box. So let's see if we can do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some planes. So now that our plane's in a good spot, we can hold Alt and rotate it to duplicate it. And let's just put that right on the end. And we're going to make our own little box here. So we have all these planes and they're making up a box. Should be 6 planes. There we go. we're gonna need a material for this plane, and we're actually gonna use this material a few times. So if you're following along, we can make this called base material. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna hold 4, we're gonna left click, we're gonna right click on that, convert it to a parameter. So we had a vector 4, and now we can just call this color. Plug the color into the emissive, and that's it. I think that's it. Exit out of here, we're gonna right click and create a material instance, call it MI yellow 1. And I'm actually gonna do the dropper. So to do this, I'm gonna have to put this screen over on my other monitor, and hopefully the volume's off. And when we override the color, it's not gonna be black anymore. We can do the dropper. I'm gonna do this dropper over the box, and this is gonna be the dark yellow, the yellow that's all the way on the right hand side. Now let's make another material instance. This one can be the slightly less dark yellow. Okay, and we can duplicate this, called yellow 3, and this is going to be the bright yellow. So I'm going to select this, and I think the left side of the cube is the bright yellow. Yeah, it looks like the left side is the bright side, the right side is the really dark side, and the bottom or the top of this little mini cube is the middle yellow. And you know what, let's grab this cubes and we can duplicate it by holding Alt and dragging all of them out. Let's scale it down. There we go. Looks like they are basically in the same location as the video. So let's do the dark, the bright, and then I think the bottom had the middle color. What did the minikube have? Oh, the minikube was rotated in like a really weird way. Well, I wonder if we can do this with this minikube. Yeah, this should work. Since we have the edges aligned, this should work fine. So we can match that. It's throwing me off a little bit. I don't know what is going on here. All right, I think I've tinkered with it. I got it almost in the exact spot. I see it. I think we can officially say we are 2 for 2 on the illusions. Since Unreal uses Euclidean geometry, I didn't expect anything else. But we still have 2 left to go, so let's see how they fare. And these last 2 are a little different because they are traditionally done on 2-dimensional surfaces, where these first 2 are generally done on 3-dimensional surfaces. So I for sure thought that the first 2 would work. I'm not so sure about the second 2. So let's figure that out. So this one is called the Railroad Illusion. And this one is the classic, you know, the yellow stick on the bottom, the yellow stick on the top, which one's bigger? And then, oh, look at that. They couldn't possibly be the same size. But it turns out, you're right, they are the same size. It's just an illusion. Because if you erase the railroad, boom, there you go. The sticks are the same size. So how we're gonna make this one? We're gonna put a cube in our level. Let's scale that down, something like 0.25, 0.25. We're gonna need a color, so let's go back to our big cube. And this, we actually do need this one to be black. So let's put that on our cube. And we can stretch it out as far as we need it to go. And we can hold Alt and duplicate it, and there we go. So we have some train tracks. Let's do the same with another cube. We can squash it down to 0.25, squash it inward to 0.25, and elongate it so that we have those horizontal sticks as well. 500 units seems good. And we have some pseudo train tracks. Very nice. So we can do the same with this other cube, but this time we're gonna make it yellow. Let's just squish it down, 0.25, squish it in, 0.25, and make it a little longer. Oh, actually, I think the illusion had it a little shorter. I think we can spread this out a little, spread that out a little. There we go. Let's make a duplicate of this, and let's make this one yellow. It was kind of like an orange-ish. Like a bright, yeah, that's good. And then we're gonna need to copy this and put it, what was it, 6 away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, around there. And let's see if that works. So this illusion doesn't work in 3 dimensions. I would definitely say that the further away stick doesn't look any larger than the close-up one. I didn't really expect this one to work since it's a 2-dimensional illusion. How can we get this one to work though? Let's grab the second stick and maybe we can bring it up closer. I think we have to be like in the perfect spot because the screen I'm looking at is a 2D screen. It's just in a 3D space. So I have to be able to make this work somehow if I place this closer, right? It's just not doing it for me. It's just not doing it for me. This illusion, I'm gonna say it's a no-go on this illusion. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Clearly they look like the same plank of wood. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because I know it's in 3D space. Or like the dimensions I made are just horrible. I don't know, but I'm gonna say no on this one. This is a no. So we're 2 for 3. We're gonna go on to the fourth one, and this one's called the Hermann grid illusion. Basically, it's a few different gray rectangles being put across the screen, up and down, vertically, horizontally, and then in the middle there's these slightly gray or white cylinders. And it's pretty apparent that there's something going on here because when you look at each individual cylinder, they look normal. But in your peripheral vision, there's like a black dot atop like over half, like 3/4 of the cylinders. So we're gonna check to see if this works in an empty level in Unreal. And we're gonna need an emissive texture again. So let's duplicate this, put it in our Hermann grid project. We're gonna need a rectangle. And I'm gonna get the exact color of the gray. So I'm gonna do the trick that we did before. I'm gonna override the color. And looks like that's it right there. Perfect. So we have the exact color gray that they're using. Let's put that on our cube. See it light up there. And let's stretch this out. How big do we want to stretch it? We need a lot of them, so let's make it pretty big. Obviously, this is using 3D space where the image was using 2D space, so I'm wondering if this is gonna work. We might have to bring these in closer together. And we can rotate one of these, make a bunch of them. I'm just gonna grab a few of them. That way we can make more than just one at a time. Okay, so we have a grid here, and now we just need to put the cylinders in each of the corners. I kind of already see something. It's not the same, but I definitely see something in these corners. All right, let's put a cylinder here. So now we need our own material for the cylinder. Let's duplicate this, and we can do the trick like we did before. Just drag and drop that color. I thought the cylinders were all white, but it looks like they are still slightly gray. And we can drag and drop that on our cylinder. Let's just try to put this in the center of one of these things. That's pretty close to the center. I'm gonna squash it down just so that we don't get anything protruding underneath. Does it take up yeah, it basically takes up the whole intersection. Cool, so it looks like we have one taking up the whole intersection. Now we can do snapping 1,000 again and just start plugging in on the corners. It's definitely doing something to my eyes. Maybe my monitor is just destroying me, but I definitely feel or am seeing something. I'm seeing something. I'm seeing like a very shallow black dot in the very center of the cylinders that I'm not looking at, kind of like someone put like a period or something right in there. So let's do this. Let's get a camera. We can rotate it so that it's looking down 90 degrees. It's gonna need to be higher than that. Let's turn off constrain aspect ratio and set auto activate to player 0. Oh my god. Yeah, that works immediately. So some of the cylinders look like they're not directly in the center, but it doesn't even matter. But I see it. I'm gonna say the Hermann grid illusion works in 3D. Can I go at like an angle? How steep of an angle can I go? So at this angle, I'm not seeing the periods, but I'm seeing like the gray splotches underneath the cylinders. That's what I'm seeing. Like before we put the cylinders in, I was seeing like darkening in the corners, and I'm seeing that again. Yeah, definitely. Hermann grid illusion works, man. It's legit. Well, everyone, that's going to bring this video to a close. Looks like we got 3/4 of the illusion to work in a game engine. That's pretty awesome. I wasn't expecting the Hermann grid illusion to work, but looks like it did, so that's awesome. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. I make videos twice a week so that we can have a good time in the Unreal Engine like this. If you want to see other illusions, I'd love to do it because these are just 4 of my favorite illusions that come to mind, but there's literally like dozens of illusions that we could try in Unreal. Hopefully you learn a little bit about the Unreal Engine while watching this video. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. That's one really easy and free way on how to help the channel grow and reach out to a lot more people in the future. So thank you. Alright, that about wraps things up for this video. I'll see you in the next video on the channel. Bye.